Hey guys, welcome back to my seedling week by week update. This video is actually going to be week 4 and 5 combined. It's been a really busy 2 weeks and I'm on the tail end of spring break with one of my kids that's still in the school system, and she and I are on our way on a trip. By the time you see this though, I'll be back home, but I had to navigate a lot of hustle and bustle with these plants, and you will see. But I do have some fun videos coming up. Maybe we're going to stop at 2 arboretums or garden type places on our road trip, so it's going to be fun. We're also going to the beach, just she and I. One-on-one time with one child is hard to accomplish, and I don't get to do it often, and I really treasure those moments so much. But this video is about the seedlings, so I hope you enjoy it. And I learned a lot. I'm going to do things different next year. I'm going to have a video later about epiphanies over the last 5 years of seed starting, what works, what doesn't for me. Everybody's different though. What works for me may not work for you. Let's get into the video. It's kind of like a diary style over many days, over 2 weeks, and what I need to get done.
It is the evening of March the 23rd, and all of the guys that are normally in my kitchen bay window will be spending the night outside my little greenhouse. Look at the cute eggplants with the flap completely down and zipped up tight. It will be 50 degrees overnight, and tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy to cloudy and rain most of the day. So I will just come out here in the morning, lift the flap back up, and they will be able to stay out all day tomorrow as well. But there are a couple nights coming this upcoming week that it will be 33 degrees one night, so they will definitely not be outdoors on that particular night for sure. It's the next afternoon. We got quite a bit of rain, and they look toasty. There's a lot of steam built up in there. I'm not going to open it because I think I'm just going to leave them right here through the night tonight, because the low is, what is the low? 43. So I think if I don't open this, it'll retain the heat and they should be fine. Now tomorrow night is the night we're gonna have to bring them back inside. They're looking pretty good, I think. It's hard to see through this, right? All right, so now it's the morning of March 26th. These guys are officially 4 weeks old, and I've got to get them open immediately. It's getting hot. It's going to be nice today, let's say up to 65-ish, but tonight it's going to drop all the way down to 36, and tomorrow night, guess what? 32. Good thing I didn't plant on any of my warm weather plants. They've been at lows for a couple weeks. You know, peppers, tomatoes. Feel sorry for people that have already put some in the ground. They probably will get damaged tonight. Here are the 4-week-old babies, along with this tray. I never got potted up. Yeah, I know. But also, look at this. Good thing I didn't throw this out. This experiment with Wintersowing. Now there's no germination with the peppers, but 2 of the early girls did germinate. So I'm going to keep them. Of course, still I did much better with my indoor sowing than this winter sowing experiment. Of course, more could germinate, but those seeds have already been sitting in there for like 2 weeks at this point. Maybe 2.5 weeks. They may start to rot. We've got a lot of things to take care of today. So here's the big conundrum I have. It is time to pot these tomatoes here into the solo cups. If I do that today, which it's a nice day, I could get it done. I have the time today. Where am I going to put them tonight and tomorrow night? So I'm thinking they're going to stay just like this until after that cold weather passes, and then I can utilize the greenhouse at night to keep them safe in their solo cups. I just can't fit, 300 solo cups in my little grow station in the kitchen window. It's just not going to work. But what I could do, I could definitely get these guys potted up today. Maybe. I don't know. They've grown so much that I don't think I can squeeze them into these little tiny 1/16 cells. I really don't. The funny thing is, the guys I did get potted up last week, week 3, are not bigger than the guys I just left alone and didn't pot up. Honestly, I think these guys look bigger. You know, I think I'm just going to go ahead and skip potting these guys up. We're just going to move straight to the 3-ounce cups for the peppers. I mean, look at them. They look much better than these peppers that I did pot up. Now, of course, these guys had some stress from being transplanted. Something to think about. And here they are after spending the night indoors because it was cold last night. They're going to go stay outside all day now that it's warmed up. It's close to noon, but it was really cold and windy this morning. And tonight, remember, tonight's that really cold night, 32. So these guys will come back in here sometime before it starts to get real cool this evening. And no lights tonight because they've been outdoors all day yesterday, the day before. They'll be outside, most of the day today. So no lights tonight. But you can see how they really kind of expanded their growth. They definitely need to be potted up. I did buy a huge bag of solo cups from Sam's Club, and now I'm going to run up to Walmart. I need to get the little cups for the peppers. I had told you guys originally 3-ounce, but I think they're actually 9 or 12-ounce. But I'll know more when I get back from the store. It is March the 27th. It is about 7 p.m. at night. And I'm going to take these guys in for the night one last time. 42, 43 overnight. Still feels really chilly, even throughout the day today. So one more night. And then tomorrow is the big pot up. Every plant will get potted up into its permanent cup size. I'm so excited to get this over with. Things will be moving along quickly from that point on. I did manage to make it to the store today to get the cups for the peppers, and these are 9-ounce. It's been a long week, a lot of things going on, and I've had a head cold all week, which just made me feel like not wanting to do much of anything, except for the necessities. Unfortunately, that meant that the tomatoes and peppers are kind of like in a holding pattern, but it worked out with the weather because it really was too cold the last couple nights for them to stay outside in the greenhouse. And if they were in bigger cups, there would be no room to put them except the garage, or, I've used my table before. I filled it completely up with plants. So how do you know when it's time to water? When the top layer of soil is dry. As you can see, it's very dry. These guys have to get watered tonight. We cannot wait for potting up. You can see they're also getting very hungry. They're starting to get a yellow tone to them. So if we were not potting up soon, tomorrow, the next day, latest, I would have to feed them again. But we're going to pot up tomorrow and hopefully get these guys looking much better soon. They all got a small drink of water. They're tucked back in for the night. No grow lights are coming on. I haven't had the grow lights on for probably 4 days. They've spent most of the day outside the last 4 or 5 days. So there's no need for me to have the grow lights on at night. They need to start getting used to night and day. And so tomorrow night, for sure, will be their first night all alone outside all night long in the dark in the little greenhouse. But they'll be fun. All right, guys, next morning, it's going to be a beautiful day. These guys are going to come outside really soon. Maybe I'll let it warm up just slightly. So I know you're thinking, Heather, why do you not just immediately pot up into your solo cups? Let's say you do start with the block method, as you see here. Why, when you divide and pot up, can you not just go up to the solo cups at that point? You could, I could, but I have to balance time and space. So I know that come, late March, early April is a time when I can start thinking about having my outdoor greenhouse available at night for these plants. If I were to pot up immediately 3 weeks ago, these guys would have gotten way too cold outside, and they still needed grow lights. And So that's why I have to balance the time and the space issue. Now, if I had a nice little cozy greenhouse that stayed warm enough with plenty of light, I could do my seedlings out there, but I don't. So I have to work with what I have. And that is why I have to take that extra step in the potting up process, which is a pain in the butt. I do not like to pot up. But we are going to start. This video is going to roll into week 5 by the time we're done, which is fine because everything's pretty much stable in weeks 4 and 5. We are just doing a lot of potting up. We are making sure we keep them hydrated from bottom watering and possibly fertilizing, because we got to look for signs of hungry plants, which usually the leaves will start to fade into a more yellow tone, which I showed you guys last night. So now that we're potting up, we're using potting mix that does contain fertilizer. That is why I'm not mixing up my little potion like we did last week, because they will get food in that soil. It should be readily available. It is March the 29th. These guys spent the night out here all night. They did great, except for they are extremely dry. I did water them yesterday morning, but these cells are so tiny for these big plants, so we need to get them watered. Got all my supplies out here. We're going to start drilling holes, get an assembly line going, and get these plants potted up. Prudence Purple was the first lot that I decided to pot up today. You can see there was a mystery mixed in. I don't know how that happened. I also found a mystery seedling there. Not sure what it is, with the lemon basil. And so it just got busy separating the block sown tomatoes and then potting them up. This variety here is actually Purple Heart, which is a dwarf. So I did not bury it deep because it does have limited production and growth and so forth. You can see the root system here on these peppers. I think these were poblanos. And slowly but steadily I am making my way. I wanted to show you guys, I'm not a fan of these air pruning trays and containers for tomatoes. I don't think they like it. I think they like to have the roots a little bit more deeper and surrounded. So they do better in my Target trays, I think, for potting up. So I may do something different next year with that. But I just kept going. I picked off these cotyledon leaves, buried deep if they were not dwarfs or determinate plants. Can't remember what variety this one is right here. Oh, yeah, I do. These are my paste tomatoes, so they're determinate. So I didn't bury them super deep, just a little above the cotyledon level. I pitched those leaves off, and then I buried it just a wee bit above that spot, and they should do great. But you can see here there's a little discoloration on that one. Maybe a nutrient deficiency, maybe just a normal variation. So tonight's going to be 60 degrees again tonight. It was 60 last night, but I think we got 250 night after that, which is great. But we need to empty this out. We need to clear out all the winter sowing stuff, all the random experiments and plants. There's my seed snail with the sunflowers in there. So yeah, we need to clear this out for the tomatoes and peppers in case we do get cold one night. They have somewhere to go hang out. Look at my beautiful petunia cuttings. They really are doing great. And then we're gonna have an update on this, because over the last week or so, yes, I did get germination. Let me get this lid off. With it being so hot, I don't even know why I still have the lid on. But as you can see, I've got 2 peppers, very tiny, that did germinate, and 2 of the early girl, and then 1 just starting right there. Time-wise though, they are so far behind versus indoor sowing. So that's kind of like a clarity for me that yes, I need to continue to do my indoor sowing of my nightshades, because you know, it's almost planting time for me. In fact, I did put a couple things in my green stock today, and some dwarf eggplants and some micro dwarf tomatoes. So we are getting warm, and it would be sad if my tomatoes were that size, because I could probably plant out in another, let's say, week and a half, too, being very conservative. I like to be more conservative and wait until things are really warming up. But there are people in my area who are putting in their summer gardens. I am definitely making progress, but it is so slow going. Goodness, I'm tired. I have not even touched this tray, and I will not touch this tray tonight because it's about dinner time. It's past dinner time, actually. These are all the little scragglers, little bitties that I will keep as backup plants. They actually really come in handy to have backup tomato plants that are really tiny right now, but they grow, get bigger around the time maybe some of mine might be coming out because of disease or an animal ate the plant. It's just good to have some little backups like this. So I'm always happy to have those. So I've literally spent most of my Saturday potting up. I've got some revelations, things I'm going to implement next year going forward. I'm not going to do two times of potting up. I'm not doing that anymore. Once is enough for me. It's exhausting. I'm going to get this tray done, and then I'm going to eat dinner and get a shower and be done. My hands are filthy. I'll talk to you guys. It is the next morning. Took everyone out of the greenhouse and brought them back over here. I didn't want them to get toasted inside of the plastic greenhouse. And these guys are done. I need to finish up this tray here real quick. And I think I'm making progress. I think. It's been a long weekend, but I need to get done. Alright, this short clip is for you guys who have been following along from week 0 when I started these seeds all the way through now, week 4 and 5. So I did an experiment. I had an old bag of seed starting soil, and I wasn't sure if it was from 2023 or 2024. I do believe this soil I had in 2024 had a salt issue with the coconut core, and all of my plants were getting stunted. Other people had had the same problem with that same soil. So I decided to use the one bag I had left versus what I used this year, which was just pure potting mix that I shifted out any large mulch chunks. And here is the difference. So we've got the seed. So the one on the right is the actual seed starting mix. The one on the left is the potting mix, which had fertilizer. The seed starting mix had microscopic amount of fertilizer compared to the potting mix. So these are flopping over a bit. Sometimes you get a little floppiness with too much fertilization. I don't know if that's the problem or not. I will say the seed starting mix did germinate first, but these germinated right behind, equal amount pretty much. This one might actually have a few more germinated. I'm going to count them here and I'll put it up on the screen. But yeah, so this is the difference. Got some floppy ones over here that were a little bit slower to germinate. That can be fixed with potting up. Same exact light, growing conditions, water. So overall, not a very controlled study because I couldn't remember when I had bought that soil. Yeah, so I've got some plants. That's all I know at this point. And another ongoing issue was I had mixed up Kellogg's breakfast and made her sandwich. And I think at this point I've decided this is made her sandwich because the branching structure is slightly different. So with the Mater sandwich, I think it's Mater sandwich, you've got the first leaf here, and then way up here is the next leaf, and then it branches straight up into the main stem. Whereas, we'll go look at the other one. This one, which I assume is Kellogg's breakfast, we've got 2 leaves that branch off right here, 1, 2, and then it goes straight up with the main stem. So I'm thinking this is Kellogg's breakfast. See, two leaves on each side and then straight up. So I'm thinking, yeah, and these guys are taller, and that was my first clue as to which variety was which variety. So I think I got it right. Fingers crossed. It is the evening of March 30th. I am somewhat, right, Tonto? Almost done. It is night. It's about 8 o'clock. But look at how cute. These little eggplants, little plugs. They're adorable. So cute. It's my last tray. I am hopeful that I might finish tomorrow. I wanted to get done tonight, but it's not going to work out that way. This little greenhouse is plumb full. It is just stuffed to the max. So tonight, one of my family members will have to come out here and make sure they close this up. It'll be 41 degrees. All of these guys will help generate some heat because I did have to take my passive solar black jugs out that are filled with water. I've got another batch of plants to show you. Hold on. Stay warm tonight. Up against the house. I think they'll be okay. Fingers crossed.
A lot that happens in week 4 and 5, basically hardening off, and that included nighttime hardening off as well for me. I do have my plants now completely outside. My bay window is empty. Yay! I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Now we are getting down to 41 tonight, and since I won't be here, my family, the rest of my family, they are going to have to take care of my plants. So watering, putting them in the greenhouse, dipping it up at night, those type of things. But I hope you enjoy the video. I learned a lot. Every year these plants teach me so much. So if you've not started hardening off your plants, start now. Did you just hear Tonto go across the kitchen floor? His leash is dragging. He's ready to go. So yeah, so start hardening off now. You've got a couple weeks. You've got 2, maybe 4 weeks, depending on where you live. I'm going to be putting tomato plants in the ground probably next week, some, and then another round in a week or so. So definitely hardening off. Keep them hydrated, bottom water, and you may need to fertilize. You know, I've used a lot of potting mix this year with fertilizer, so I don't have to fertilize as much, minimal. But if you use seed starting mix, you definitely need to be feeding your plants. All right, have a great gardening week, guys. See you soon. Bye.